clean is your house? Now, if you're like most people, that probably caught you off guard, and I don't really want you looking at my house either. But I ask you because what we're talking about today at Peeled Oak Christian Church is this idea: what our house looks like. Now, we're not going to be examining your living room or your bathroom, but what we're going to be looking at is a story where what this man's house looks like is centered to understanding the story. In front of you on the screen is going to be read Matthew chapter 12, verses 43 through 45. If you want to follow along and listen to me, you're more than welcome to. But it reads like this: When an evil spirit comes out of a man, it goes through arid places, seeking rest and does not find it. Then it says, I will return to the house I left. And when it arrives, it finds the house unoccupied, swept clean, and put in order. Then it goes and takes with it 7 other spirits more wicked than itself. And they go in and they live there. And the final condition of that man is worse than the first. That is how it will be with this wicked generation. In this story, this man went to great lengths to kick the demons out. Now, the story here represents in our own lives when we try to get rid of those problems in our lives, those things you struggle with. It's a lot easier to take those things that we see as problems, cut them off, and throw them off. And we think we're done. We got our house clean. That's not always the case, is it? You see, it's easy to get rid of those things, but that's not the most important part. You see, the most important part is when you get rid of those things, you need to replace it with something greater. Jesus calls us to replace our lives with Him. And we have the promise that we will not live in a house divided. Jesus is called the light. John says that where the light is, there shall not be darkness. I don't know what you're struggling with. I don't know where you're at in your relationship with God, but I can tell you this: if you let Him in, everything else will be put out. But just because you put everything out doesn't mean it'll stay out. This man learned the hard way that just because his house was clean, just because he got everything going on, he got everything sparkling clean, didn't mean that he was done. Matter of fact, when those things came back in, it says that he was worse than before. But I hope, and I challenge, and I encourage you and all of us to look inside and see what our house looks like. See if we might be sharing that space with someone we might not want to be. See if God is the only person, the only resident in your house right now. Guys, thank you for listening. And if you like it, go ahead and like this tweet and retweet it if you like it that much. But I just thank you for taking your time out and watching this video. Hope you guys have a great Sunday.